Guys, this is Echo Sours, and you are checking out a production tip and trick tutorial video in support of our sound set and sample pack, Havana. So I wasn't planning on doing this video when I was coming up with the release videos for Havana, but a lot of you guys asked me how I did this section of the demo song for Havana, so I thought I would show you. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to play the last two bars leading into this section, and then we're going to figure out how to do this kind of vocoder vocal chop loop. So let's check it out. All right, so the section in question here, these bluish green tracks. I'm bad with color. They're blue or green, I'm sure. So it's a three-step process. Step one of the process, you need to have a vocal chop or a vocal loop. Now, you can make vocal loops. If you have Havana, there's a bunch of vocal presets in Serum. You can load up a couple different patches, play a couple notes per patch type thing, change it up so it sounds more organic, or you can just find a vocal and chop it up. That's what this is. It is a vocal loop that I chopped up in Kontakt, bounced the MIDI in place, so that's why we have audio, and then I kind of chopped out different sections. So this is the chops, the vocal chops. Some parts are reversed, and that happened in Kontakt, but here it is dry. Right, so that is the vocal chop. Now I just have some LFO tool, EQ, reverb, and delay, but that doesn't matter for what we're gonna do next. All right, so you have your vocal chop. The next thing you need to do is load up a vocoder, or hopefully you have the iZotope vocal synth. The vocal synth is a little bit different than your typical standard vocoder. It does a couple more things, a lot more things actually. It's kind of selling it short to call it a vocoder, but I like to describe it as a vocoder on steroids. You have the Polyvox mode, which is what we're using in this example, the CompuVox vocoder, which I did mess around with for this example, but I ended up using Logic's, and even a TalkBox. So basically what we're doing is I'm saying I have this vocal chop, and I'm basically kind of like side chaining it to these vocal synths or this vocoder. And if it's just like side chain compression, you're just triggering it. So these chords, if I solo them, and that's all it's soloed, we won't hear anything, right? So these chords are actually just playing, they're just playing the chord progression in this section of the demo. So let me copy these chords down to a track. So these are the chords that would actually be playing if it was a normal synth. So by using a vocoder and iZotope vocal synth, these chords will actually play only when these vocal chops occur, and they will add the chord that I'm playing on top of the vocal chop. So it is important to make sure that your vocal chop is in key with what you're doing, and you know the key of your track, your song, so when you're making the chords, it all fits together. So if I solo these two tracks together now, what you're hearing right now is just coming from vocal synth. So if I turn down the volume on the vocal chops, we'll hear that. But if I mute it, we won't hear that. See, because it still needs to be playing internally to Logic or to your DAW. So that's kind of what's going on there. So when a lot of people use vocoders or these types of synths, they use 100% wet. I'm kind of treating it like a parallel processing of a vocoder. I actually have a lot of the dry signal back in, because it just makes it more audible, right? So let's go into the iZotope vocal synth real quick, and we'll change a couple settings. So let's turn on the TalkBox, and I need to make sure that we have the other track soloed so we can hear everything. That's actually really cool. I'm like shocked that I made it cool in a few seconds. So let's play that together. Let's bring in the dry again. Actually, I think I like that more than the original version. So that's really what's going on there. Now I layered that with a instance of Logic's vocoder. So Logic's vocoder is really basic, really old. Apple hasn't reskinned it yet or made it beautiful, but it still works as a vocoder. So let me turn the signal to synth. Now this is just, the sound that you're about to hear is just coming from the vocoder itself. Right, it's actually really cool, kind of basic synth pad. So again, what you do is you choose your sidechain input to your vocal track, this audio right here. You could do MIDI. And then you choose for the signal here, you choose the vocal. And that is going to create that sidechain link. And then again, if I play these together, I'll turn this down. And then this is more of a kind of a classic vocoder effect. But again, it's just being blended together. So all three together make what we hear in the demo. All right, guys, so that sums up this video. If you have any questions or comments, post them up below. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit subscribe and follow. And yeah, guys, I will see you next time.